Welcome to Court Explainer festive seasons. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But Court Helicopter remains committed to bring to you serious episodes about the Constitution of Kenya. We are now looking at Chapter 3 of the Constitution of Kenya. What does Chapter 3 of the Constitution of Kenya say? In Chapter 3, we start with Article 12. What are the entitlements of a citizen? You as a citizen, what does the Constitution give you as your rights? 1. Every citizen is entitled to rights, privileges, and benefits of citizenship. So, any benefit a citizen is entitled, then everybody has it, subject to the limitations of this Constitution. So as a citizen, that is why when you are born, you automatically become a citizen of this country. That is why it was wrong to deport Miguna, because Miguna is born a citizen of this country. You don't buy citizenship. You don't pay for one to be a citizen. Number 2, you are entitled to have a Kenyan passport so long as you are a citizen. So let nobody waste time telling you anything. You are entitled to a Kenyan's passport and any document of registration that is required. This is a document of a birth certificate. This is a document of a national ID card. This is a document that identifies you. Any of these things are your right to have. Then we have these rights can be suspended by law. So your passport can be cancelled by a court of law. If you acquire these documents without proper process, the court can revoke, or the immigration department can cancel those things. Then Article 13 talks about the retention and acquisition of citizenship. How can you retain or acquire citizenship? It says every person who was a citizen immediately before this Constitution retains the same citizenship status as of that date. These are some of the Kenyans who traveled out of the country before 2010, before the Constitution came in place. They did not lose their citizenship. That is very fundamental. So those Kenyans who are abroad, come back home or go to Kenyan embassies, apply for citizenship. That is allowed. 2, citizenship may be acquired by birth or registration. You can acquire a citizenship by being born here or by applying for citizenship. Lastly, citizenship is not lost through marriage or the dissolution of a marriage. Very, very critical for our women. Once you have been married by a Muslim, you don't stop being a citizen of Kenya. The fact that you have been married to a foreigner, you still retain citizenship of Kenya. 2, once you have been divorced, you don't lose your citizenship because you are born here. This is very critical for those who are in marriages, intermarriages that are international. You don't lose citizenship by being married, or you don't lose citizenship because you have been divorced. Then we have Article 14 talks about citizenship by birth. What does the law say? A person is a citizen by birth. Even the day of a person's birth, whether or not the person is born in Kenya, either the mother or the father of that person is a citizen. The day you are born, that's when you become a citizen, so long as your father or mother is a citizen of this country. Then a child in section 4 There are children who do not have, they don't know their parents. They are found in Kenya. Either they are refugees, either they are children who came from Tanzania, they came from Uganda, they came from Somalia. These children, how does the law say? In section 4, in 14.4, it says, a child found in Kenya who is or appears to be less than 8 years of age and whose nationality and parents are not known is presumed to be a citizen by birth. So any child, so long as that child is below 8 years, and you cannot say who the parents are, this child is presumed to be a child born in Kenya, and that child will be issued with a birth certificate of Kenya, a national identification card, and that child is presumed to be a citizen of Kenya. Then Article 5 talks of the people who traveled out of the country under the old constitution. Under that old constitution, there was nothing called dual citizenship. You had to denounce or renounce citizenship of Kenya. So, what is the way? And very many of them are outside, people from the diaspora. Listen to what Article 14.5 says. A person who is a Kenyan citizen by birth and who on the effective date has ceased to be a Kenyan citizen because the person acquired citizen of another country is entitled on application to regain Kenyan citizenship. So those people who are outside the country, you went and you renounced Kenyan citizenship. You became a citizen of Tanzania. You went and became a citizen of Afghanistan. You went to be an athlete in Dubai. You ceased being a Kenyan citizen. You became a citizen of Dubai. You went to the US because of a green card. You renounced your Kenyan citizenship. Article 14.5 now tells you you only need to apply and you will be retained your citizenship. The application can be done in Kenyan embassies or Kenyan consulars and all in the Kenyan Immigration Department or any government offices in the Republic of Kenya. Let's deal with Article 15 that talks about citizenship by registration. In section 15.1, it says a person who has been married to a citizen for a period of at least 7 years is entitled on application to be registered as a citizen. So if you have married a Kenyan citizen, either you are a woman who is not a Kenyan, but you have been married by a Kenyan citizen, or you are a Kenyan man who has married a wife who is a foreigner. If you are married for 7 years, that wife of yours, that husband of yours, under Article 15.1, she or he will be given citizenship. 15.2, if one has been lawfully a resident of Kenya for a continuous period of at least 7 years, and who satisfies the conditions prescribed by the Act of Parliament may apply to be registered as a citizen. If you have been in this country for 7 years without any problem with the Kenyan government, you can apply to be a citizen of this country. But you must have stayed in this country continuously for over 7 years. 15.3 says, a child who is not a citizen but is adopted by a citizen is entitled to application for citizenship. If your child is an adopted child, you went to America to study, you went to South Africa to study, you went to India to work, you adopted a child, an Indian child, a Chinese child, and you are a Kenyan citizen. Once you come here, that child will be given citizenship of this country, because that is an adopted child. You are the father, you are the mother. We did that episode in court helicopter. Now the Constitution guarantees that any adopted child by Kenyan parents becomes a Kenyan citizen. Then we have dual citizenship. Dual citizenship is found in Article 16. It says a citizen by birth does not lose citizenship by acquiring the citizenship of another country. So the law allows you to be a Kenyan citizen, and it also allows you to be a UK citizen. You can have two passports. You can have two nationalities. One Kenyan, which is permanent, and any other country that you are developed. Remember, this is a departure from the old constitution, where the constitution did not allow anybody to have two nationalities. The Kenyan constitution, Article 16, allows that. Lastly, now we see about revocation of citizenship. How can you lose citizenship? If you acquired that citizenship by fraud, by false representation, or concealment of material fact, if you acquired it through criminal means. 2, if during the war, if Kenya is engaged in war and you are a citizen of that enemy, it says, during any war in which Kenya was engaged, unlawfully traded or communicated with an enemy, or been engaged in or associated with any business that was knowingly carried or in such a manner as to assist an enemy in that war. If you are given a citizenship of Kenya and you are a foreigner, we are at war with that country. For example, we start war with Tanzania. You are given Kenyan citizenship. We start war with Uganda. You are given a citizenship of Uganda. And you give information to the Ugandan army or the Tanzanian army, disclosing where our barracks are, disclosing military installations. The Kenyan government will revoke your citizenship because your citizenship is being used to aid an enemy during war. C, if it will be revoked if the person has within 5 years after registration been convicted of an offense and sentenced to imprisonment for a term of 3 years or longer. Any foreigner who has been given citizenship of this country, if you are convicted and jailed for over 3 years, your citizenship will be revoked. So foreigners who are in this country, be aware that if you commit a crime and you are convicted and sentenced for 3 years, that citizenship, the Kenyan government shall revoke it. If one has been convicted of treason or any offense for which a penalty of at least 7 years imprisonment may imposed, or a mere penalty has been imposed, that the country will revoke citizenship. If you are charged with the offense of treason and you are a foreigner, treason means you have plotted to overthrow the government of the Republic of Kenya. You have plotted to kill the head of state of this country, and you are a foreigner and you are convicted. That nationality shall be revoked. In 2, it says, any citizenship that was acquired by fraud, false representation, or concealment of material fact shall also be revoked. And lastly, the age of the person becomes known and reveals that the person was older than 8 years. These children who are given a presumption under that they are 8 years and they have nobody here, if information comes to government that indeed they were above 8 years, that nationality shall be destroyed and it shall be revoked. Therefore, you now know from court helicopter the rights of a citizen born in this country, the rights of a citizen who has acquired citizenship by registration. You now know which offenses you can do as a citizen who has acquired by registration, and your nationality shall be revoked. Wakili Danstan Omari shall always keep you updated, because Court Helicopter is always there for you to teach you what the Constitution says. Remember, the two people who read the Constitution, Raila Odinga and Kibaki, are dead. It is you now. You must read the Constitution. You must follow Court Helicopter. Wakili Danstan Omari. Thank you. See you.